Today we're expected to hear about the new nomination of the head of the ATF, former U.S. Attorney of Ohio, Steve Dettelbach. Now, earlier nominations of David Chipman was pretty much put away pretty quick because of the anti-Second Amendment stance that David Chipman had. So we wanted to take a look at Steve Dettelbach, because, well, who is he? Well, I didn't really know anything about him, and it's strangely hard to find anything about him. But what you can find is, first and foremost, he was a U.S. attorney, mostly focused on organized crimes, hate crimes, and white-collar crimes. It is important to note that he was a classmate of Obama in Harvard and worked with him at the same Chicago law firm as Obama, and was appointed by Obama as a U.S. attorney. He also worked under Ted Strickland. Now, Ted Strickland was made famous with some controversy from the Democratic National Convention in 2012, where it was omitted things like God and God-given rights, and it was also omitted that Jerusalem be the capital of Israel. So Ted Strickland then, once he realized everybody was upset about that, he amended it, put it in there, and then when they were calling for a vote by voices, they couldn't really hear. There were so many yays, so many nays, and then after the third time, they finally said, all right, it passed, followed by lots of booing. And that's kind of his legacy. That's what he's most known for. And it was Steve Dettelbach who worked under him. Now, when it comes to gun policy, therein lies the problem. It's hard to find much of anything as far as what he has done in the job place when it comes to guns. Where you can find out where he sits on guns is you can look at his Twitter feed. And I definitely want you to take a look at his Twitter feed. I'm going to put that link below. But what you're going to find there is he did partner with the ATF during his Attorney General campaign in an effort to reinstate the assault weapons ban, and that's very significant. And then there's a lot of other anti-Second Amendment rhetoric throughout his Twitter feed. So, you know, you can always tell a person where they really stand by kind of is what they're throwing out on social media. So I think there's a lot of telling. So what I believe you're going to get with him as leadership of the ATF is you're going to get a fight against protecting semi-automatic rifles with magazines. I think you're going to fight against protecting those if he becomes the ATF leader. I think you're also going to be fighting against a lot of other issues by the definition of what is a firearm, and we're going to hear a little bit more about that today as well. So you know, overall, as far as what he's done, I don't think much of anything when it comes to guns. As far as what he says, he's definitely anti-Second Amendment. So, and I've said this in the past, that the ATF should focus on alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives. And they're not going after certain types of alcohol. They're not going after certain types of tobacco. They're not going after certain types of... They're just going after firearms. It's become an anti-firearm establishment. And that's probably what the ATF should end up standing for. So, you know, love to hear any thoughts on this. Again, any insights you have. This is just all I could find out by just kind of doing some searches into his work history and his Twitter feed and that kind of thing. But what I get is that he doesn't have really much of experience of working with alcohol, tobacco, or firearms. He's very much against hate crimes and organized crime and that kind of thing. I think that's great. But it's his Twitter feed that is really the piece that kind of gets me scratching my head thinking this might not have been a good nomination either. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Love to hear any insights you have. Put it below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. Feel called to support this channel to Patreon. That link is also below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests. So don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.